Welcome back, guys. So in this video, you'll be learning how to create a maze game like this. So my aim is to chase the apple and make sure it doesn't touch the bats. So I can't go to that area because of the bats. So let me lead the bats to another place so I can quickly go to the apple. So the bat is coming here. Good. So I can make my move now. Good. So anytime I was able to catch the apple, I get a score for that. So I want to lead my bat away, but this is not a good way. Let me lead the bat away again. All right, so let me make my move. So I move to this side so that I can get the apple. Okay. Oh, now we have game over. Welcome back, guys. So let's get started. So the first thing I will do is I will name my game, which is the maze game. Now I need to generate a maze for my game. So we have a platform called the maze generator. So that could help us to generate our maze just like this. So I don't want it to be too big. So I will use 10 by 10, the width to be 10 and the height to be 10 to generate my maze. So you can see, so I need it out as a image file. So I will download it here. So I have my maze being generated. So going back, I need to upload the image. That's my maze. So I'll upload this. Good. You see, I have it. So, but it's too tiny and I need to expand it. So I'll convert it to vector here. Then I will increase it so that it fits the whole screen like this. So follow me. So you can see. So I left a little space on top here so that I can put my variable for the score. All right, so I don't need this. I'll delete this. So this is the only backdrop that I need. So let me get the material I needed. One, I have the cards, but let me reduce the size of my cards. Let's use 30. So let's see if it's small enough. I think I can reduce it a bit. So let me use 20 so that the cards can move freely in the maze. So the next thing I need to get is the apple. So let me get my apple. So I have the apple. So I reduce the size of the apple also to 20. Okay, let me reduce the size to 20. So I have the size of my apple to 20. So what's the next thing that I need? So we want to get our material first. So I need the bats. Where is the bats that will be flying? Reduce the size also to 20. Like this. Did you see? So this is how we follow. Then what's the next thing? I need my game over backdrop. So let me also paint my game over backdrop. So that could be easy. So I'll write my game over. Well, so I need it to be bigger than this. So let's just have it like this. Just have it like this. I can change the looks a bit by changing the looks. So I have this. So my game over will be at the center here. So what other thing do I need? I need the score variable. So let me create a score variable. So make a variable. I'll call it the score. Good. So I have the score right on top here. So I have the game over the bats, the apple, and the sprites. So let's start with the code. So what do I want to do first? Let's go for the cards, just like we have it here. So I want my cards to always be starting from the top here. And I press the up, down, left, and the right arrow key. It will control my cards. And whenever the cards hit the black lines or these walls, it will always bounce back. So starting, so the first thing is when green flag is clicked, so we can see this clearly. So when green flag is clicked, What did I need? So I need this cat to go to this position. So I'll go to motion. I will tell it to always go to this position. Do we see? So the cat will always start moving in. So I need to be moving continuously. I need the forever block. So I'll put the forever block here for it to keep moving. So let's start with the first condition, which is when the up arrow key pressed, it should go up. So I'll put a conditional block here. The sensing, I will say if key up arrow key press. If you want to learn how to do this properly, you can check my previous video on how to control your sprites with the arrow keys. So when up arrow key is pressed, I need to change the Y direction by a certain number. So I'll go to the motion block. So I'll put change Y by, because this is what is always taking it up. So change Y by 10. So I need it to also be moving the leg and the hand as it is moving. That is what will make me to use the next costume block. Good. So anytime my arrow key is going up, I want it to also bounce back if it hits the black line on top. So the next conditional block is if then. So I need a conditional block. So the if then, if touching the black color, because the wall are in black. So I'll have if touching the black. So you can have different shades of black. So I want to have the perfect shade of black. So I'll use the mirror to mirror the black around. You can see. So I mirror this just like this. Then what will happen? Anytime we're going up, if it touches the black line, I want it to bounce back. So I'll just pick the change Y by the other direction, which is the change Y by -10. Do we get that? So let's test that and see. Green flag, you see? Anytime I press it, it's not going beyond that. It's always, his leg is moving, but it's not going. That means it's touching the black line on top. So this is the step we follow to do the other one. So I can duplicate this to do the down arrow key. So I'll change this to if the down arrow key press. So instead of 10, that will be what? -10. Then if it hit the black line at the bottom, it will go in the next direction. That's 10. Let's test that so you can see. Up, down. You see it's not moving beyond the black. Next, that is the words. The left and the right arrow key. So let's do that from the start. And if then block, saying if the key right arrow key pressed. So I'll get this like this. I'll change this to the right arrow key. So it is the x-axis that controls the left and the right movement. So I'll go to my motion like this. So I'll put change x by 10. So that's always going to the right position. I think I should slow down. So the next thing is what? Next costume. I put the next costume here. So the legs can also always be moving. So what's the next thing? Whenever it hits the black line when going to the right, it also needs to bounce back. So I want to do if touching the black color here. So I'll mirror it just like we did earlier, black. So this time around, we change x by -10. So I'll put change x by -10. All right, so let's do the left before we test it. So I can always copy this also, duplicate, put this under it, change it to the left, change the x to -10. Then this one will be 10. So we can test this and see how this works. So you can see this is working. It's not going through the black line at any point. Good. So we are good to go when it comes to the cats. All right, so what's the next thing to be done? Let's code for the apple. So what will happen to the apple? So my apple needs to just start from a random position. My apple needs to start from a random position or anywhere I want it to start from. So when green flag is clicked, tell my apple to go to a random position because you can start moving from anywhere. Go to random position. So mind you, the cat is always chasing the apple. Then after that, I need it to point in a certain direction for it to start moving in a direction. So let it point in the direction 90. So you can always point and stand straight like this whenever it is starting. So continuously, I want it to be moving. I want it to be moving. So forever, I'll use the move, but this time around, I want to take a short step. So 2 steps. Let's take this alone and see how it works. Did you see? It's moving. So now the next thing to do is that we make it that it doesn't pass through the black line. So we also need that if it's touching the black line also, it should always bounce back also. So it can always be going through the maze by itself. So I need a conditional block again, which is if then, just like we did earlier, touching, what again? The black color. Now, it's moving 2 steps to the further forward. So to bounce back, that will be the negative direction. So we can always make sure it's taking a bigger step backward. So instead of -2, I can use -4. So that the step is to be taken back will be bigger. So it will be bouncing back. But this is not over. Let's see how this works. So you can see it's only bouncing back, but it's not moving again. Now we need to be moving again. So what we just need to do is a simple block, which is just to turn it around. Once it is turning around, it's what? It will move. So we need to turn in direction. So we need to pick a random degree that it will move. If you pick direction 15, you might just be rotating slowly in a spot. You can see the movement is not that rapid. So I need to pick a random degree for it to be moved. We can toggle between the numbers and pick any one that works for you. But for mine, I use 120. So it will be rotating in between 120 and 270 degrees. So you can use any number that works best for you, just to make sure the movement is smooth. Now let's watch this. Did you see? So it's always bouncing back. So it's always be looking for where there is an opening, a path to go through. And anytime the cat's touching it, it will always bounce back. So I think we should do that. So let's do that. Whenever the cat's touching the apple, it should always bounce back. So let's do it under this also. So we'll do it separately. When the green flag is clicked, a forever block to saying a conditional. If touching, if touching, did you see it? Touching what this time? So we're under the apple, touching the cat, and the name of the cat is sprite 1. So I'll pick the sprite 1. What should happen? It should go to another random position. So to just change the position and go to a random position. So later on, we will be changing the score. Okay, let's do that now. So let's change the score. If you're touching it also, let's change the score by 1. So the score can increase anytime it touches it. So we need to set the score to 0 anytime we are restarting the game, just like this. So let's see how that works. So I'm chasing my apple. You see, I have to, and it's move right to another position. So let me go through the maze to look for the next apple. Okay, okay. So this is just the first step. So in the next video, we are going to be working on the bats and the sprite too, which is the game over. So once the bats will also be moving towards the cats, we also add the sounds to it and some other things. So please kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel if you like this video. Thank you. See you in the next video.